And so the officials called me to say, Aponta, you are getting the one with the highest figure. So can you please allow us give the other one to your runner-up in the bid? With excitement and happiness, I said, why not? So it was with my consent that they gave the smaller bid out. But God blessed me to win the 2 lots. When so many applied, I think we were over 100 and something. Welcome back, viewers, to the stories of my life. I would like to share 2 more testimonies of divine intervention in my professional practice as an estate surveyor and valuer. Sometime in 2010, I received a call from a professional colleague that works in CBN. I mean, I can be bold to say his name, ESV Obiora Osakwe Den. And that call was to ask for my opinion on an asset of CBN, which I never imagined or thought about that it would be an assignment for me to do. And I asked for him to give me like 1 hour, 2 hours to run it. And I did by driving through the property in Abuja here to see it, and then made some inquiries and did some analysis. And so when I called him back to say, well, in my view, and I was in a hurry just to tell him, and I said, this one, Jankara job, nothing is going to come out of it. So I just casually told him that it should be in the range of this to this. And that is allowed in valuation for you to give a range within which value can fall in. And there and then he said, well, you will be required to value that asset for Central Bank of Nigeria. Will you be ready and available to do it? I said, why not? A pleasant surprise to me. And of course, the telephone conversation ended until I think 2 days after. I was invited to come and pick up an appointment letter to do that valuation. That was pure divine intervention. And that valuation gave me tens of millions of Naira from source I never expected. This same divine intervention of God in my practice made that to be. It's one of the experiences I cannot forget in a hurry in my life. There has been so many other areas, lucrative jobs I have done. I can remember when my friend of blessed memory, late Sir Ojimadunweze, started a project in Wuse Zone 4. I didn't know much about it until the day he invited me and said, Roland, you will manage this property. It's called Williams Plaza at Wuse Zone 4. And that was also the biggest of all the properties I first managed here in the city of Abuja. Time will fail me to count So many things God have done for me in this practice to bring me to where He has brought me to today. When others quoted, I can remember, for compensation valuation along somewhere in Gwagwalada, what they call reserve for livestock. Many hectares of land were acquired. We passed through a tender process, and of course we were allowed to bid for more than one slot, and I did bid for 2 slots and won 2 slots at a go of FCDA job. By then I had already made my practice to be totally dependent on God, to the extent that I asked question, God, should I go and bid? Even up till now, I don't see that there is advert and run into it. I would rather pray about it, and each time I was careful to get a conviction in my spirit that God wants me to bid. Each of them, was it an NPC valuation? Was it the one I had earlier mentioned? And quite a number of others. God had always made me successful. So this FCDA evaluation was spectacular, because I wasn't expecting to get to win 2 of the bids, but I won 2 of the bids. But something happened. One was the one with the highest figure in all the bids, and the other one was something just and so the officials called me to say, Abonta, you are getting the one with the highest figure, so can you please allow us give the other one to your runner-up in the bid? With excitement and happiness, I said, why not? So it was with my consent that they gave the smaller bid out. But God blessed me to win the 2 lots. When so many applied, I think we were over 100 and something. And so I've seen a lot of the hands of God in my practice, that today I no longer worry about what the market is saying, whether there is a casting down in the economy, whether people are buying properties or they are not buying, whether people are doing valuations or not. In those days, if you don't value for banks, people will feel you can't make it. But over the years, seeing how banks treat valuers in terms of pittance payments, I chose to depend on God. And God has been giving me corporate valuations. I can't count the number of members of Full Gospel that have given me valuation. I valued Sauki Hospital on a number of times, and valued so many other notable properties in the city of Abuja, all because God favored me. Dear listeners, there is God in heaven that rules in the affairs of men, and I am a living witness of God's special interventions in my practice, special favors and grace, and I give Him all the glory. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.
Now, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. When God is in charge of your life, it will always be from glory to glory, from one level to another. If you think all this that Abonta is saying is happenstance, then you've got something else coming. How many estate valuers are there in Abuja? That somebody will apply for 2 jobs to the same organization and you come out successful. That call that came from Central Bank, tens of millions of Naira. Is Abuja the only estate valuer in Abuja? Or is it the only person that Obiora Osakwe knows? It is the intervention of heaven, even as he himself said. You may be going through some rough storms in your life. Listen up. It is not in man to direct his own steps. You can't do it. You can't lead yourself. But the steps of the righteous man are ordered by the Lord because God delights in him. If there is a relationship between you and God, God will advertise you. God will talk to people about you. God himself will find opportunities for you to make progress. That is why we're encouraging you. Seek him. Look for him. Pursue him. You catch up with God. You catch up with your destiny. Give your life to Jesus. Consider your ways. Turn away from wickedness and sin. Bring Jesus into your life. Your story will be different tomorrow. Again, do not forget to subscribe to this our channel so that any video we send out, you are the first person to get it. God is at work. Thank you for tuning in today. We invite you to send these clips to your friends. Be a part of what God is doing. You too will be blessed. Thank you.